Once upon a sunny spring afternoon in Bristol, the Peculiars were thinking of something fun to do. The Peculiars are a family of people who are very peculiar. You have Mr. Peculiar, who is an inventor, Polly Peculiar, the baker, Peter the peculiar pirate, and Vernon the very friendly vampire. Timmy and Tammy are Mr. Peculiar's parrots, and they are very cheeky. They all live in a peculiar house on a peculiar road and live very peculiar lives. Polly Peculiar said, "Shall I sing a song for you all?" The rest of the Peculiars replied, "No!" Polly chuckled and asked, "How about I bake us a nice juicy cake for you all?" The Peculiars all looked at each other for a minute, and Peter, the peculiar pirate, was the first to speak. "Polly, me hearty, I don't think we want to be eating cake all day." Mr. Peculiar nodded and agreed. "We want to be having fun, Polly, I know what. Why don't I invent us something fun?" Timmy and Tammy, the peculiar parrots, chirped in and said, "We don't have enough time before bedtime for you to make something to go wrong." Everybody laughed, and suddenly an idea came to Polly Peculiar. "How about we go on a massive peculiar Easter egg hunt?" Polly asked. "That's a great idea, Polly," Vernon the very friendly vampire replied. "Thank you, Vernon," replied Polly. "Shall we call our good friend the Easter Bunny to help us out?" "That sounds like a brilliant idea, me hearty," replied Peter. Mr. Peculiar picked up the peculiar phone and dialed in the numbers. Ring, 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 ring.
"Welcome to the Easter headquarters, home of the Easter Bunny. How may I be of excellent service today?"
A voice spoke down the phone. "I would like to speak to my old friend, the Easter Bunny, please. Ha!
"One moment, please. I will be back in a hop,"
the voice replied. "OK, thank you," Mr. Peculiar replied, as he waited patiently for the phone call to be connected.
Good afternoon, Egbert the Easter Bunny here. How may I be of excellent help to you?
Mr. Peculiar was overcome with joy. "Hello, Egbert, how are you? It's your old friend, Mr. Peculiar here. Ha ha ha!"
Mr. P, this is crazy. It's been so long.
"It certainly has. It's been a year since we last spoke. Anyway, I was wondering if you could come and help us out." Egbert the Easter Bunny replied,
Of course, I will hop over.
The phone was hung up.
Hoo-hoo-hoo! He's on his way,
Mr. Peculiar said excitedly. Timmy and Tammy flew around the house as they were so overjoyed that they were finally about to meet Egbert. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door and the ring on the peculiar bell. "Come in," the Peculiars said. The door flew open and Egbert came bouncing in with a basket full of eggs. "Hello, Peculiars. I heard you were in need of something fun to do this sunny afternoon," Egbert said. Peter, the peculiar pirate, replied, "Yes, we are, me hearties. What have you got in that peculiar basket? Har!"
I've got eggs, eggs, and more eggs, and we're going to play a game. However, I need to set up the game, so could you please give me a few minutes to set up the game? Oh, Timmy and Tammy, you can stay. I need your help.
The Peculiars left one by one, until only Egbert, Timmy and Tammy were left.
How can we help you, Egbert?
Timmy said.
This is going to be quite peculiar,
said Egbert.
I need you to fly around the home in separate directions and pop these eggs down in peculiar places for the others to find. I need 4 different coloured eggs, and each of the Peculiars will have to find their own colour. There will be 5 eggs in total for each player to find, and the winner will get a peculiar trophy and be crowned the winner.
Egbert gave Timmy and Tammy an egg at a time, and they went to hide them all over the house. They had to be careful to ensure all the eggs were in different rooms in the peculiar house. The eggs were all hidden. Egbert put on his colourful Easter hat and asked all the Peculiars to come back into the room. Polly asked, "Egbert, what are we going to be playing?" Egbert replied loudly,
Peculiars, I have set you an excellent task. We have hidden colourful eggs all over the peculiar house. Now you have to find them. The first person to bring back 5 eggs of their colour and pop them into the peculiar basket will be the winner. Mr. Peculiar, you are collecting the blue eggs. Polly Peculiar, you are collecting the red eggs. Peter, the peculiar pirate, will be collecting the gold eggs. And Vernon, you will be collecting the green eggs. Are you ready?
The peculiars nodded.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Egbert started the hunt. Mr. Peculiar sprinted out of the room and straight upstairs to the peculiar cupboard and found one of his eggs. Polly Peculiar overtook Mr. P and found 2 of her eggs in the peculiar bedroom. Vernon searched the peculiar basement and found a green egg, whilst Peter searched the peculiar kitchen and found 2 of his eggs. The peculiars searched frantically all round the house. They looked high, they looked low, and they looked all around, and they'd all collected 4 eggs.
1 more egg to find,
Egbert exclaimed. The peculiars started to run around the whole house. Mr. Peculiar tripped up the stairs as Peter ran past him. Polly chased after them, thinking the eggs must be upstairs, and Vernon searched the garden, but couldn't find the last egg. Then a big cheer was let out from downstairs.
We have a winner!
Egbert shouted. He hopped over to the peculiar basket.
1 egg, 2 eggs, 3 eggs, 4 eggs, 5 blue eggs. You are the winner, Mr. Peculiar!
The peculiars all started to clap and cheer as Mr. Peculiar was invited to collect his prize. Egbert handed in a peculiar trophy, which Mr. Peculiar proudly lifted above his head as he celebrated.
Time for me to go now, Peculiars. Thank you for a fun afternoon,
said Egbert as he bounced out of the house.
Ha ha! Thank you, Egbert. See you soon,
Mr. Peculiar said happily.
Now, wasn't that fun, everybody?
Mr. Peculiar said. Mr. Peculiar displayed his trophy in the peculiar cabinet and shared his prize of a chocolate egg with the rest of the peculiars. The end.